Town of North Hempstead Supervisor Judy Bosworth. In the interest of keeping our senior population safe, we have partnered with our Project Independence fitness instructors to provide virtual classes. This way, you can still get the exercise you're used to from the safety of your home. Please enjoy.
Hi, my name is Rebecca Miller and I will be guiding you through this Project Independence yoga class. This yoga class will be an all-level or an open-level yoga class. We'll be leaning a little bit more toward gentle yoga, but it's really good for anyone, beginners, people who have been practicing for a while. I do give a lot of instructions, so if this is your first class, just please listen to your body, and that really goes for everybody. Your body is going to tell you what it needs. If you're coming into a pose and something doesn't feel right, come out of the pose slowly. Listen to your body. Your body's going to tell you things don't feel right, they don't feel right. I am a huge believer in props for any kind of yoga, even advanced yoga. I always have props available to me because every time if I'm teaching or if I'm taking a class, I never really know how my body is going to react that day. So I have a block ready if maybe my right leg feels a little sore, maybe it's strained a little bit from working out the day before. So I just kind of bring the earth a little bit closer and lift that knee up a little bit with my block, and that helps. Sometimes, like right now, I'm sitting on a very low pillow, helping my hips come up. You'll be seeing throughout my practice today that I'm going to be using my props. I'll probably take a towel if we're going into tabletop for my knees. So I just have everything available. If you don't have blocks or bolsters, you can just use some towels, a big beach towel, roll it up. You can also use a nice firm pillow. So if you have a nice long firm pillow, you can also use big hard covered books for the blocks in place of the blocks. So that all being said, finding your way onto the mat where we'll be warming up first part of class. So just kind of find a comfortable seat. We will be on the mat for about 10 minutes or so. So you want to be careful, you want to be comfortable, and you want to listen to the body. So if you're seated like I am with your legs crossed, at any time, if you feel like you need to stretch your legs out, please do so. Just extend the leg, maybe flex the feet, point the toes, and then bring the legs back in. You can shift, you can bring that left foot in front if maybe the right foot was in front, whatever feels comfortable. So the key to a nice, healthy yoga practice is listening to your body. Yoga is a practice that we do for ourselves. So just be careful and listen to your body and enjoy the practice. So that all being said, again, I'm Rebecca, and I will be guiding you through this Project Independence yoga class on North Hempstead TV. So let's start. Just find a nice, comfortable seat on your mat, anywhere on your mat. Maybe you have a pillow under you or a blanket, or maybe you're nice and comfortable seated on the mat. Maybe gently start to close your eyes, breathing in and out through the nose. Gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out. In breaths and out breaths. On those in breaths, just starting to find alignment in the spine. Your shoulders are stacked over your hips. The crown of the head is reaching up toward the sky. And you're trying to find balance in the seat. So we take those breaths in, Chest rises up, belly expands because we bring in the air, so we fill up like a balloon. And then we exhale, release the breath. We let go of the breath. We're sending the breath out and the body softens. And just continue with that pattern of breath, bringing in the breath, bringing in the energy that you brought to your class today, and exhaling to release and let go. And continue to breathe at your own pace. I cue breath a lot throughout the practice, but if I don't cue breath, it doesn't mean hold your breath. You shouldn't hold your breath at all. Just continuing to breathe in and out through the nose. Now we're going to start to release any tension that's in that lower back. So kind of focus on the lower back just for a few breaths. Take that breath in through the nose. On your exhale, just release and just kind of imagine that any tension that's in that lower back is coming out in your exhale. It's just floating out. Breathing in the energy and exhaling to release the tension. When you let go of that tension, the body softens and you're able to come deeper into poses, which I will be pointing out later. Breathing in out through the nose. We all tend to favor one side or another too when we're seated. So I tend to favor my right side. I think my left side's a little tighter. So I'm always kind of on a little bit of a lean. But when I'm warming up in yoga, I really focus on trying to find balance in the seat. And we do that by releasing the tension, by releasing what's keeping us tight in there. So let's take a nice, deep, full breath now through the nose. And a long lasting exhale, releasing all that tension in that lower back and seat. Nice. One more time, nice full breath in. Breathing in that energy, chest rises up. And exhale, releasing and letting go. Beautiful. And now just return to the rhythm of your natural breath. In and out through the nose. Gentle breaths in and gentle breaths out. And we're going to bring our arms out to a T now. We're going to turn the palms up toward the sky and we're going to connect to breath here. So on your next inhale, connect to that inhale, bring those hands up, fingertips are reaching up toward the sky. Then on the exhale, we turn the palms down toward the earth. Exhale, lowering the hands down toward the earth. Inhale, bringing those hands up, keeping those arms nice and engaged, reaching, reaching, reaching. Exhale, lowering down. And then again, bringing those hands up, bringing those palms and fingers together, and lowering your hands to heart center. So in most yoga classes, we set an intention for ourselves for the class. Sometimes that intention is to maybe find balance in your class or alignment in the spine, or maybe your intention, which is a goal, something that you intend to accomplish. So maybe that's just to come to class today, or maybe it's something you have to do later. Whatever that intention is, it's a goal that you're setting for yourself, something that you want to accomplish today. Take a nice deep breath in. Big open mouth exhale. And then maybe you want to dedicate your practice to someone or something that brings you joy. So when you come back to your dedication throughout your practice, you're filled with joy. You're not filled with stress. Brings a smile to your face. Nice full breath in. Slow exhale. Now we're going to go ahead and inhale those fingertips up toward the sky. The hands are still together, crossing all the fingers. We're going to turn the palms up toward the sky, and on our next exhale, we're lowering our hands down, pushing the hands forward. So you're pushing your palms forward to keep those arms engaged. We're rotating the shoulders. Inhale. Any discomfort in the shoulders, exhale, lowering down. Maybe one shoulder's a little sore today. You just go ahead and keep that arm down on the knee and just continue to bring the other arm up. Listen to your body. It's telling you exactly what it needs. Inhale up. And one more time. Exhale, lowering down. Now we're going to inhale those hands up one last time. connecting to your breath, and then slowly lowering your hands onto the front of your knees. We're going to find a nice comfortable yoga seat here. Crown of the head's reaching up, shoulders are stacked over the hips, spine is aligned, and we're just going to start to warm up the cervical spine. So just gently turn to the right and pause, center and pause, and then to the left and pause. And that's it. Just continue to do that a few times. Moving your head right and pause. You don't want to be swinging the head too quickly. The cervical spine, you need to be a little more gentle on the cervical spine, especially when we're warming up. And then one more time. And then just start to gaze forward. Go ahead and find that yoga seat again. Shoulders are stacked. So when you're stretching the cervical spine, you want to make sure you're nice and aligned. Alignment's very important when we're stretching. So we're going to slowly lower the right ear toward the right shoulder. You don't want to bring the shoulder up. You want to lower that right ear toward the right shoulder. We're stretching the left side of the neck. That's the side that's working right now. Breathing in, we take that breath in, and on that exhale, just release and let go. Gently lowering that right ear toward the shoulder. Never forcing. It's a very gentle guide. If you want, you don't have to do this. I generally, when I'm practicing yoga, I don't bring my hand up, but you can. If you have a nice healthy neck today, you can bring that right hand up onto the left side of the temple and just slowly lower it down toward the shoulder, continuing a little bit of a deeper stretch on that left side. And then slowly lowering your hand onto the knee, keeping your head still in that stretch. And on your next exhale, slowly roll your chin towards your chest. So we're coming out of that nice and slow. We're going to inhale and just rise up, rolling the head back very gently. And maybe you're gazing right over your head. You don't even have to go back that far. And then exhale, gazing forward. So let's stretch out the other side of the neck so we balance that out, right? We're always stretched this, one side and then the other side. So we're lowering now the left ear toward the left shoulder, stretching out the right side of the neck. You may notice one side is very different than the other, and that's perfectly normal. Everybody has a side that's a little bit more limber, a side that's a little bit more stiff. So it's perfectly normal, and we're stretching that right side. If you want, you can bring that left hand up and over, and just gently guide that left ear toward the left shoulder, stretching here. We're still finding balance in the seat, so everything that we're doing, every action that we take in each pose, we're still working toward it as we go through our poses. So let's lower the left hand onto the left knee, and then exhale the chin to the chest, and go ahead and roll that head back, nice and slow. Don't go back too far, and then gazing forward. And we're going to start to rotate the shoulders a little bit, but we're going to start out doing what I like to call the I don't know. So we bring our shoulders up, I don't know. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, I don't know. Exhale, lower down. One more time. Inhale, bring them up, shoulders up, and exhale, lowering down. Nice. Let's go ahead and bring our arms out to a T again. We'll inhale those hands up. Fingertips reaching. This time we're going to take a twist to the right with the upper body. So our hips are facing forward, and with the upper body, on the exhale, because that's when the body softens, we're twisting to the right. You're bringing that right hand behind your back, the right hand nice and close to the spine. You don't want that right hand too far back, because then you'll lean back. Left hand comes on the outside of that right knee. We inhale, we lengthening the spine. And on the exhale, remember, that's when we let go. That's when the air releasing allows us to soften. We can come into the twist a little bit deeper. Generally, you're not going deeper into a twist on your inhale. That's kind of like when you're bringing all that energy in. And then on the exhale, release, the body softens, the tension's leaving the body. And one more time, inhale. And exhale to twist. So we slowly come out of a twist because the spine's in a lot of different positions, so we don't rush through it. Slowly come back to center, bring those arms to a T. Inhale those arms up, nice stretch, realigning the spine, beautiful. Let's exhale and twist to the left now. Left hand comes behind the back, right hand on the outside of that left knee. Hips are facing forward, we're twisting with that upper body. Inhale, lengthening, and exhale to twist. Really notice, pay attention to that connection with the breath when we're moving through this sequence. So we inhale, bringing in that energy, and a slow exhale, releasing the tension still from the lower back. And you're guiding, remember, we're not forcing, gentle guide. And one more time. And then slowly coming back to center. Again, arms come to a T. Inhale, bring those arms up, nice full body stretch. Okay, bringing the hands down to the knees. Before we do our side stretch, we have been seated a while, so if you want to go ahead and stretch out those knees, the feet, just get a little bit of blood flow. When you come back into your seat, you can put the left foot in front or the right foot, however you were seated, maybe do the opposite. If you have a pillow or a block and you want to kind of give a little bit of support, go ahead and do that. So right now, we're just going to continue in with the practice. So find that yoga seat again. We're going to bring the arms to a T. Inhale those hands up. And then slowly lower them down. So we're going to do a side stretches now. So I'm moving everything out of the way. Let's start out by walking that right hand all the way out to the right, about 6 inches, not more. Ground that right palm in the earth. Make sure it's nice and grounded in there, kind of like an anchor. You don't want it sliding. If you have a block and you want to put your hand on a block, that's great too. We're going to keep that seat nice and balanced, lifting that left hand up. So the left hand's coming over to the right. Any discomfort in the shoulder or the upper back, you can always bring the elbow up. That's a nice tight stretch if you want to try it. Left elbow reaching up. You'll find a deeper stretch in that upper part. Or the left hand can come up and just listening to your body. So we inhale to reach and exhale, fold. So you see my arm softening? You can soften that right arm and come down to the forearm if you want, or you breathe in and exhale just to release the breath. Let the body soften. Listening to the body. One side's going to be very different than the other. So right now, I personally feel I can come a little deeper on my exhale on this side. You know, I don't know what's going to happen on the other side, but so I'm going to go for it. Sometimes I will, though, use the block and put my forearm on the block. You're stretching that left side, getting a nice stretch on the left side, right? Exhale, nice. So then we're going to use that right hand to help us come back up to our seat. Okay, nice. Bringing those arms to a T. Inhale the hands up. And exhale, lowering the hands to the earth. Now walking the left hand all the way out to the left side, about 6 inches. I mean, go where it's comfortable for you. If you want to come, have that block or book or towel handy, just have that handy over there. Ground that left hand down. Reach that right hand up before it comes over, because you want to kind of notice how the body's coming into it. I knew I was going to be stiffer on this side, and I am. So remember too, you can bring that right elbow up. We inhale. We inhale is when we're reaching. Exhale is when the body softens. So the right fingertips are also reaching out to the left side. You can go ahead and put the forearm on a block or a pillow. Inhale, we're reaching, and exhale. On the exhale, I'm just going to exhale on this side. I'm not going to kind of guide my body down too much because it feels a little tighter, and I'm just going to let that happen. Inhale and exhale, release that breath. Notice the stretch along the right side of the body. That seat's staying balanced, so don't force yourself to go down too deep. If you feel like you need to come up, listen to the body. And then we're going to inhale, push that left hand into the earth, coming right back up to the seat. Let's inhale the hands up. Nice. Now lower the hands onto the knees. Beautiful. So we're going to do some seated cat and cows before we come up into our tabletop, and then we'll do some standing poses. I'm going to move my my pillow now because I feel like I need to be a little bit more grounded when we're doing the seated cat and cows. So we're placing your hands on the front of your knees, depending on how you're seated. You know, if your hands are out in front of you, you want to bring the soles of the feet together. You want to grab a block, put it under the legs. Just kind of play with it, how you can come comfortable into your seated cat and cow. So cow is on the inhale. So you've got your arms nice and soft. Inhaling, the chest is rising up, you're gazing up, your abdomen's coming forward, and this is cow. And then cat, remember that's the exhale. We're releasing the breath, the spine rounds, chin to chest, and arms straighten out. Inhale, come on up, into cow, and exhale, back into cat, chin to chest. Arms are straightening out, round that spine. Remember, we're still releasing, so you might find cat a little easier. Inhale, back into cow. So arms are soft. We're powering up into cow. There's power coming in. Exhale, we're releasing the tension. We're letting go in cat, chin to chest. One more time. One more cow and then cat. Inhale. And then exhale. And then find that nice yoga seat. So before we come into our tabletop, we're just gonna come into a gentle forward fold, seated forward fold. So I always keep, again, my props handy. So I just have them nearby. So if I feel really bendy and I can come down, I don't use my props, but if I'm feeling a little stiff, I definitely want them nearby. I don't know how I'm gonna feel, so let's see. I'm gonna take your thumbs, press your thumbs into your hip crease. Both thumbs into the hip crease. That's where we're gonna hinge from. We're not gonna just come down around the spine. So before we come down, let's align the spine because we're gonna come into a forward fold where the spine is aligned. We're not gonna round the spine. So go ahead and bring that chest up and then hinging right where those thumbs are in the hip, just coming down. And once you kind of find you're starting to round, that's when you bring your hands to the earth. Try to keep your spine aligned here in the forward fold. If you want, again, you can bring your blocks or pillows and rest your forearms. You want to be aligned here in this particular forward fold. So whatever that means for you, any discomfort in the lower back, walk your hands and come back up to sit. Very important to listen to the body. You're still coming into a forward fold, even if you're up high. Spine's aligned, you're hinging from the hips. So wherever you're at today, maybe you're in it deeper, you can inhale and walk the hands a little bit forward as you come down into your forward fold. Wherever you're at, we're just gonna hold just for another breath or two. And then start to walk your hands toward the body. Coming up to sit. Before we come into tabletop, let's just realign that spine. Nice full stretch. Nice. And then lowering the hands onto the knees and maybe guiding those knees together. Just taking a stretch with the legs. You know, you want to kind of get that blood flowing. You can bring your knees behind you and then just finding your way into tabletop. So tabletop, you've got your shoulders are stacked over the wrists. Hips are stacked over the knees. Tops of the feet are on the earth. Now, your wrists might feel some discomfort if you haven't practiced in a while. You can always come down to your forearms or just kind of give your wrists a break a little bit. So in this tabletop, we're just going to do one or two sequences here before we come up to stand. So finding that tabletop, you're gazing down toward the front of your mat. You want to keep the cervical spine aligned with the rest of the spine. So we're just going to move the hips from side to side slowly, starting out slow. Hips kind of reaching down toward the earth. Just getting some movement in the hips, maybe taking some half circles, whatever feels right. So again, listening to the body here. You don't want to force it. You don't have to go as low as the heels. You can just kind of stay up high. Again, I'm certainly listening to my body too. So I've got a little bit more bendiness today. So I'm taking some nice movement with the hips. And then let's all come back to that neutral tabletop. So we warmed up the hips. We're gonna come into a spinal balance. We'll just do that by sending the right foot back. So flexing the right foot, toes facing toward the earth. You can keep your toes on the earth, or you can lift that foot up so that it's at hip height. Just keep that right foot flexed. That keeps that leg fully engaged. Left hand's coming forward. I'm still gazing down toward the front of the mat because this is a spinal balance. Palms facing in, right foot's reaching behind you, left fingertips are reaching in front of you. My arm is fully engaged. Breathing through it, don't hold the breath. Right shoulder stacked over the right wrist. And we're gonna exhale, doing 2 elbow to knees. So that's left elbow to the right knee under the body. So on the exhale, bring your chin to your chest. Inhale, back into spinal balance, and one more. Exhale, and back into spinal balance. And then let's come back into our tabletop, neutral tabletop. And we're gonna come into child's pose from tabletop before we do the other side. So slowly start to lower your seat towards your heels. Wherever that is, you can always take a block and maybe put it so that it's comfortable, maybe on your heels so your seat's touching the block, bringing the earth closer, whatever is comfortable for you. You can also just kind of stay up. Making sure though that if you're on your forearms, if you're up high. Otherwise, finding your child's pose, getting the seat nice and close to the heels, palms are in the earth. Even though this is a restful pose, child's pose is restful, it's still an active yoga pose. Every part of your body has an action, even if it's a restful action. So right now, your hands are still reaching in front of you, keeping the arms engaged. Almost kind of imagine that you're trying to slide your mat in front of you. Trying to get your seat closer to the heels. And let's slowly come back up into tabletop. That neutral tabletop, just move your seat from side to side. Just a couple of times. And then coming back to your neutral tabletop. Again, don't overdo it. If the wrists are bothering you, move them around. So now we're going to come into spinal balance on the left side, sending that left foot back. Remember, you can do this with the toes on the earth or lift the left foot up. Right hand comes forward. Right fingertips are reaching in front of you. Left foot is reaching behind you. And we're just really getting a nice stretch here. And then we're gonna do 2 elbow to knees. So exhale, right elbow, left knee, chin to chest, around the spine. Inhale, back into spinal balance. And exhale, elbow to knee. Back into spinal balance. And then slowly coming back into tabletop. Finding your way back into child's pose. Seat coming toward the heels. We're only going to be here for 1 breath because we're going to come into our first downward dog. We will not be in downward dog very long. And if you're not feeling the downward dog, you can come right up to find your way standing on the back of the mat through tabletop. So let's slowly come back into tabletop. Curling the toes under, lifting the hips up into downward dog, softening one knee and softening the other, taking movement here. And if you're really uncomfortable with the wrists, you can go ahead and walk your hands back towards your feet, which we're going to be doing in just a breath. We're just going to be here for 1 or 2 more breaths. Gazing between the knees and the thighs, not looking down at the mat. Trying to get those heels on the earth. And then slowly start to walk your hands back toward your feet. You can soften the knees here, bringing that upper body toward the upper part of the legs. We're going to inhale, coming into a half lift. So you can bring your hands onto your shins, hinging forward. You can have your fingertips on the earth. And again, if you have a block and you want to bring the blocks and put your hands on the block, I have that handy. Then we're lowering the hands to the earth. And one more time. Half lift, hands to the shins. So if you can see, hinging forward from the hip, exhale into the forward fold so the upper body can come in contact with the upper part of the legs. Your knees can be soft. You don't have to have straight legs in a forward fold. Then maybe once you're down, once the fingertips are on the earth, then you can straighten out the legs as the hip is rising up. And then we're slowly going to come up to stand nice and slow. Nice and slow the whole time. The hips are by the side until the crown of the head is up. Once the crown of the head is up, then let's go ahead and do a nice full body standing stretch. So nice. Put those hands together and bring your hands to heart center. So we're sitting for quite a while. So standing up, just make sure you find some balance in your feet. If you have any water and you want to take a water break, please do. That's what the body's telling you it needs. Then you grab a water bottle, you take a sip of water. So here we are now at the back of the mat. We're going to take one more nice full body stretch. So let's go ahead and really reach those hands up. We're going to exhale into a forward fold very slowly. Soften the knees as you're coming down. Bring those hands to the earth. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale into the forward fold. And slowly rising up. Inhaling the hands up. And then lowering the hands to heart center. So we're going to come into a warrior one. So we all should be at the back of the mat now. We're going to send the right foot forward. So you can walk the right foot forward or take a big step forward, whatever feels right. That left foot comes to a 45-degree angle. You have space between your feet. So warrior two, the feet intersect. So the right heel intersects the left foot. In warrior one, there's no intersection of the feet. And you want to make sure in warrior one that you have your weight nice and balanced. You don't want to have all your weight on that front leg. That puts a lot of pressure on the right knee. So focus on that back foot. That back foot's nice and grounded. Hips are forward. So warrior one, we want to make sure those hips are forward. So how do you know that? You can take your hands and bring them to your hip. And if you notice that they're, kind of facing toward the left or right, then just kind of guide the hips forward. Right knee stays over the right ankle. If that right knee passes the right ankle, usually that means your feet are too close together. So just there's a lot of let's say rules, but there's a lot into a warrior one. And that's before we even bring our hands up. That's the lower part of the body. So the hips are forward, engaging the core, bringing those hands up. Palms are facing each other, shoulders are down. So already there's still a lot. Don't lose sight of that back foot. That back foot and front foot should have your weight balanced onto them. You don't, again, want too much weight in the front. So let's go ahead and hold nicely in warrior one. Maybe smile, take a nice full breath in, and then an exhale out. Holding palms facing each other. We're going to take a twist to the left. So that means the left hand's going to come behind you. Right fingertips reaching toward the front of the room. Open, having the palms facing the wall that you're facing now to the left. We're still in warrior one with those legs. We're just coming into the twist now. Fingertips are reaching. Crown of the head is rising up. Nice gentle twist. And come on back to center. Nice, right? Back into your warrior one. And now we're going to take a twist to the right. So twisting to the right, you're a little tighter in this twist. If you want, you can pivot the left foot forward. That'll get you a little further into your twist. Palms are open, facing the wall now that you're facing. Right knee stays over the right ankle. Breathing, inhaling and exhaling. And then let's come on back to center. Maybe coming to that 45-degree angle with that left foot. Right back into your warrior one. Nice. So let's leave the right fingertips up, nice and high, and lower the left hand onto the back of the left leg. And then we're just going to inhale the right fingertips up. And on the exhale, see if you can Soften the body, just soften the body. And if that hand, you may notice the left fingertips come down that left leg a little bit. So again, one more time, inhale, reaching, maybe gazing up at that right thumb. Exhale, softening. Nice. And then let's move right back into that warrior one. And we're gonna take a very, very gentle back bend here. I don't even like to call it a back bend, but that's what we call it. So we just bring the hands back a little bit. I mean, if you have a deeper back bend and you want to go a little deeper, that's fine too, listening to your body. And coming back into warrior one, bringing those hands together, lowering to heart center. So what we're going to do here is we're going to bring the left foot to meet the right foot at the front of the mat. So you could do that in one step, or you can walk the left foot, whatever you feel you need to do today. So let's bring the left foot. Now we're at the front of the mat. We're going to inhale those hands up, nice full body stretch, gaze up. Exhale into a forward fold. Soften the knees as you're coming down. Again, if you want to grab a block, you can place your hands on the block. Come into that half lift. Hinge forward from the hips. Get some nice distance, realigning that spine. Exhale into the forward fold. And then slowly rise up. Inhaling those hands up, palms and fingers together, lowering to heart center. So we're lowering to heart center for balance here. So now we're going to come into warrior one on the other side. So we're going to send the right leg back this time. So the right leg's back, 45 degree. Feet aren't intersecting, left knee is over that left ankle. Hips are forward, hands are coming up. Breathing through it, smiling. We're always smiling in yoga. Yoga, there's no competition, there's no Olympics. This is all about you. That's why it's so important to listen to the body. Let's go ahead, exhale, come into that twist to the right. Palms are facing the wall. Left knee stays over that left ankle. Remember, it's on that exhale, we're getting that nice twist. Fingertips are reaching in opposite directions. You can kind of bring those shoulder blades together behind you if you want. That'll help you to kind of rise up. Breathing, 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 nice. One more breath here. This feels good. And let's come on back to center. Hips are forward. Right back into your warrior one. You can open up your arms too a little bit in warrior one. Palms are facing, shoulders are down. Now we're going to twist to the left. Again, if you need, you can pivot the right foot forward. I usually do that on this side. And we're twisting. So now right fingertips are reaching forward, left hand behind you. Breathing. Maybe engage that Ujjayi pranayama breath. That's the breath in the back of the throat that makes that ocean sound on the exhale. So we breathe in, and on the exhale, makes that sound. It really helps to release the breath. And come on back to center. Bring those hands up. Pivot that right foot back into warrior one, 45 degree. Nice. Let's lower that right hand onto the right leg. Just gently, right? Left fingertips reaching up. Inhaling, reaching, reaching. Exhale, left hand, right hand, comes down that right leg just a little bit. Inhale, we're reaching up. Exhale, letting go. Beautiful. And then let's come on back into our warrior one. Bringing those hands together. Lowering to heart center. So we're lowering to heart center for balance. So when the hands are at heart center, we're really up in or balanced, especially in the upper part of the body. Because right now, you know, you've got your back leg in a 45 degree angle. So let's see, how are we doing with time? We're doing good. So I think we're gonna come into warrior two after this. So let's go ahead and bring that right foot forward. However you get that right foot there, okay? Inhale those hands up, exhale into the forward fold. Remember, soften the knees, use the block, fingertips come to the earth, then you can straighten out your legs. If you want to try to straighten out your legs, you can always put your hand on a block and straighten out the legs that way. And come to your half lift. Exhale into the forward fold. Slowly rise up. Inhale those hands up. Nice. And lower to heart center. So now we're going to send the left foot back. So coming into warrior two, the left foot is going to be parallel with whatever wall is behind you. Right knee comes over that right ankle, just like we did in Warrior One. Now, the hips aren't facing forward though. We can't really do that. So it's a different upper body movement here. So you got the right knee over the right ankle, left foot is grounded, that left leg's fully engaged. Remember, we're focusing on that back foot too. You want to balance your weight on that foot. So kind of imagine like you're trying to slide the mat away from each other. So the right foot sliding the mat forward, the left foot sliding the mat behind you. That's going to help you to kind of balance out the weight a little bit. Let's bring our hands and arms into Warrior Two. So the right fingertips are reaching forward. You're gazing over those middle fingers. The back hand, you can check out that back arm. You want that left hand at shoulder height. And we're reaching. You're gazing over the right hand. Crown of the head's reaching up. Shoulders are still stacked. Breathing through it. We're going to come into Peaceful Warrior now. So flip that right hand. Right hand comes up. Left hand comes on the back of that left leg. We're stretching the right side of the body here. So we're inhaling. Maybe you're gazing at your palm. Inhale, we're reaching. Exhale, allow that exhale to let the body soften. Maybe the left hand comes down that left leg a little bit. Feels good. Making sure the right knee stays over the right ankle. Legs, lower part of the body, still in Warrior Two. And then we're coming right back into Warrior Two. Felt good, right? Inhale. Nice full Warrior Two. Fingertips are reaching. Legs are in Warrior Two. And bring the palms up on both hands. Inhale your hands up. Gather them together and lower to heart center. Let's go ahead now and bring the left foot forward. You can, again, step it up or come to one, bring it up in just one kind of step. Inhale the hands up. Exhale, forward fold. Softening the knees. Hands on the earth, maybe straightening out the legs. Inhale to your half lift, hinging forward. Exhale, and slowly rise up. On that inhale, feels so good. Bring those hands up, lower to heart center. Let's send that right foot back now. Coming into Warrior Two now on the other side. Left knee over the left ankle. Right foot is parallel with the wall behind you. Left heel intersects the right foot. Remember in Warrior One, we don't intersect feet. Here we do. Arms come to a T. Right hand is at shoulder height. Left hand's reaching in front of you, gazing over those middle fingers. Reaching, you can go ahead here too. Try to bring those shoulder blades together. Nice. Turn that left palm up. Inhale, Peaceful Warrior. Right hand on the right leg, stretching that left side of the body on that inhale. Nice. Exhale, release the breath. And one more breath here. Nice inhale. Beautiful. Such a nice stretch. And then come on back to your Warrior Two. Full Warrior Two. Let's take a couple of breaths here. In and out. In through the nose. And then exhale. Nice. One more time. Good breath. Turn those palms up. Bring those hands together. Lower to heart center. This time, we're going to walk the left foot back to meet the right. However you get there. You can hop it. You can straighten out the leg. You can meet the right to walk yourself back. However you want to get kind of back toward the rear of the mat. So we're going to come into, just do a little balancing before we come back down onto the mat to do a little bit more end of the class type of mat work. So we're going to inhale the hands up, palms and fingers together, coming into tree pose. So before we come into tree pose, start to focus on your feet. So whenever we're in a standing pose, your feet are your foundation. When we're seated, our seat is our foundation. So kind of just notice what the mat feels like under your feet. Get a good connection to your feet, to your mat. So maybe just roll onto the heels and then roll onto the balls of the toes, standing up on them and Just kind of focus on that just for a breath or two. And then come to stillness. Nice. So now we're going to start to shift our weight into the right foot. Now notice that right foot's connection changes. You've got most, if not all, of your weight now on that right foot. So your right foot is your foundation in this pose. That right leg is your tree trunk. Hands are at heart center, shoulders are stacked over the hips, spine's nice and aligned. We're pivoting now the whole left leg toward the left side of your room. So we're opening up. Now when we come into tree pose, you can bring that left foot above or below the knee. You just don't want any part of your foot, like even the heel, touching the inside of that right knee. You don't want to because you could really injure your knee. So just find what works for you today. If you're you've got great balance today, you want to bring the right foot. I'm not doing it on the right side today, and that's okay. If you want to try a half lotus, I have that. You can do that. Or you can go ahead and just leave that left foot kind of leaning on the right foot. And that's great too. So whatever works, it's all about balance. Focusing on that right foot, maybe gently closing your eyes here. A little bit more of a challenge when your eyes are closed. Inhaling those fingertips up. We're going to open up our branches. If you want to move those fingers and wrists, or the hands, whatever's working for you today, wherever you're at in your practice. And then coming to stillness, inhaling the hands together, lowering to heart center. So don't put the left foot down yet. See if you can bring that left knee up nice and high, right in front of you. Extend the leg out, and then slowly lower down. And then we're going to shake out the right side. Just shake out the right side a little bit. Nice. Let's go ahead and inhale the hands up. Lower the hands to heart center. And now we're going to pivot the right leg toward the right side of the room. Same rule on this side. Notice the connection that you have to the mat with that left foot. Where is that right foot coming in? Is it coming to the shin? Is it coming up higher? As long as that right foot doesn't have any connection with that left knee. Inhaling. If you come out, you come right back in. That's what I do. And we're going to inhale those hands up. And then open up the branches again. This time, if you want, you can maybe lower them down, take a little bit more movement, see how your balance is working. You can lower the foot back down onto the earth, whatever you feel you need. Inhale the hands back together, lower to heart center. Bring that right knee up nice and high, extend that right leg, and lower down. Beautiful. Let's inhale the hands up here. Exhale into a forward fold, softening the knees, lowering the hands to the earth, walking your hands back into your downward dog. Last downward dog of the practice. Gazing between the knees and the thighs. Coming down to tabletop if you're not comfortable in downward dog today. And then slowly lowering the knees to the earth, finding your child's pose. Lowering your seat toward the heels. And just coming towards the rhythm of your natural breath. Arms are still engaged. We're still in an active yoga pose. Very nice. Now let's slowly start to walk our hands toward our body, coming to sit onto our heels, and then finding your way onto the mat. Seated on the mat, somewhere in the middle. Soles of the feet now are on the earth, so you're kind of centered into the center of your mat. And we're going to slowly start to recline onto the mat. If you want, you can bring your hands behind your hamstrings and help to lower yourself down. You can use your hands to help lower yourself down. Or if you want, take 4 or 5 breaths engaging your core. So it's up to you. So you want to engage the core and slowly lower down. But remember, if you're engaging the core, if we're doing core work, you have to tighten up the abdomen. You got to really get in there. So it's inhale and exhale, exhale. If you want, you can bring those feet up Inhale, exhale. You can straighten the legs, whatever you want to do. 5 breaths, 2 more, and then the feet are on the earth. And then just come into a nice full recline on your mat. Move around a little bit here. Send one foot forward and the other. Maybe bring the shoulder blades together underneath you. Walking those shoulder blades together. And then just turning the palms up toward the sky. Take a nice full breath in here. And then a slow exhale. And we're going to come into a wind reliever pose, as we call it. I'm going to recline the other way so you can see. You guys all stay where you're at. So we have a little bit more time to do some stretching here. So with both legs sent out in front of you, bring that right knee in towards you. You're going to take both hands around both hands together and bring them down around the right shin. Don't push down. We're just going to be guiding that right knee behind you. So the left foot's flexed, left foot's reaching in front of you, and the right knee, if you want to just open it up a little bit, you're just sliding that right knee behind you on the exhale. So we breathe in, and then on the exhale, the body softens, and we just slide a little bit. One more time. And then just bring that left knee in. Extend that right leg now. Right foot flexed, sliding here on the exhale. So it's that right foot's reaching in front of you, breathing in, exhaling, and sliding that left knee. Any version, any modification you feel you need. If there's too much pressure on that left knee bending, bring those hands behind the hamstring and use the slide that way. Use your hands to slide, that leg could stay up. Listening to your body is so important here. We're doing good. And then bring those knees together and just kind of move from side to side now, massaging the lower back. You don't have to have the knees together, whatever is comfortable for you. And going down to the whole side of the back, not just the lower back. And coming to stillness. We're going to come into a reclining twist now. So if you have a block, a towel, your bolster, you may want to have it handy, because when we come into the reclining twist, you want to have your legs on the earth. So that's what that means to you is very different. It may be on the mat, you may be on a block, you may be on a blanket. So just have some things handy, because you don't want the legs kind of floating in the middle, because that could affect the lower back. So we're bringing our arms to a T, slowly lowering the legs to the left. Arms are at a T. You're gazing over the left fingertip. So you see, I'm on a blanket. Today I might be able to get down there. And you know what? I don't have my knees together, so maybe I'll put the blanket between my knees, or maybe a block. If the neck feels good, then look over toward the left. You can also gaze up toward the sky, or whatever your neck is feeling. So this is a pretty intense pose here. You've got the lower part of the body in one direction and the upper part in the other direction. So it's pretty intense at the middle part of the body. So inhale and exhale, just kind of release the tension at that middle part. Breathing through it. Arms are at a T. Your shoulders should also be on the earth. So if you're finding like the left shoulder's up a little bit, you'll definitely want to put a prop under that base leg, and that'll help you to ground the shoulders, because that'll give you a little bit more twist in here. So you're going to be gazing over toward the left fingertips, or up toward the sky. You know, listen to your neck. If you're feeling a little tightness in the neck, you can look up toward the sky. You don't have to look all the way over. So either way, this is a pretty intense pose, because you've got your lower part of the body in one direction and the upper part of the body in another direction. So it's the center part of the body right here, right by the waist, where you have that like intense pull, right? That's where like it's going right and it's going left on top. So take a nice full breath in here, And on the exhale, just release from that spot, also from the lower back. That's going to be tense. That's where the tension will come in and the tightness. You want to release that tightness because that'll allow you to come into your twist a little deeper, a little softer. Nice full breath in and a slow breath out. Releasing. Notice that exhale when the body softens, that maybe you are coming a little deeper. And again, don't be concerned to grab a prop and maybe bring the legs up a little bit higher. Whatever you feel you need to come into this pose fully. And just hold it one or two more breaths. Don't hold the breath, hold the pose. Inhales and exhales. Beautiful. Feels good. Should feel good. And now we're slowly going to come out of it. So you can extend the leg or just lower the feet onto the earth. Before we come to the other side, because of course we will be doing the other side, just kind of ground the upper body into the mat and heel toe your feet to the edges of your mat. We're going to windshield wiper the legs out a little bit just to give a little bit of massaging the lower back and also some rotation in the hips. So just kind of start to windshield wiper your legs, left and right. Also, you should notice that the back gets to rub against the mat, the lower part, that should feel good. And then come to stillness. Let's go ahead and bring the knees in and then out, in and out. And then heel toe the feet together, bring the knees in, give yourself a little bit of a hug. Don't bring your knees in so quickly though, nice and slow, nice and slow. There you go. And then you're gonna bring your arms to a T. So we're gonna come into the twist now on the other side. If you have your props, you need to bring them to the other side. Me and my props, okay. So let's slowly start to lower the legs to the left side. So again, on the left side, my base leg hits nicely. Though I am gonna put a prop between my knees. There I go, right? Feels good. I'm looking over toward my right fingertips. I'm exhaling. As I'm talking, I'm really concentrating on releasing the tension from my lower back because I can really tell when I'm in these twists how tight you get. You know, tension has its way of sneaking in. We can't really control that, but what we can do is release it. So that's what we focus on with the breath, is getting rid of that tension. Breathing in and out, really focusing on that section of the side, by the waist. That's where the pull is going in opposite directions. That's the most intense part. Also the lower back. Nice full breath in, exhale out. Beautiful. Should feel good. Again, notice the shoulders if they're not up. If that right shoulder or that left shoulder's lifting up, put a pillow underneath the legs. Get the legs lifted up a little bit so that you can have that contact. One more breath here. Nice in and out breath. Beautiful. And now let's slowly start to roll our lower back onto the mat. And we're going to heel toe those feet apart again and windshield wiper the legs out again. Nice and gentle, no rush. Try to go slowly. That'll help you to kind of ground that lower back, get those hips, little rotation in the hips. And start to heel toe the feet together again. And we're going to come into a bridge pose. Just for a few breaths before we start to come into our inversion toward the end of the program. So placing the soles of the feet on the earth, you want to have the feet about hip distance apart. And maybe your fingers are just touching the heels, just touching your heels of the foot. And once you've got that lower part of the body kind of grounded, just walk your shoulder blades together a little bit underneath you to kind of open up the chest just a little bit, just to give that push, because we're going to be pushing the hips up, and a lot of your weight is going to be coming onto the upper part of the back, because when the hips come up, everything's going to be angled down toward the shoulders and the upper back. So now that you're nice and open, palms are on the earth, take a nice full breath in, and then on that exhale, then lift those hips up. pushing the soles of the feet into the earth and really lifting up from those quads. Just kind of imagine those quads are lifting the hips up on the inhale. So just kind of holding here, breathing. Don't hold the breath. You're bringing those hips up, in and out, breathing in and out. Maybe on those inhales, the hips come up a little bit higher, but really listening to your body. So you may not come up as high, and that's fine. You may still be on the earth, and that's fine too. Wherever you're at is where you're supposed to be. So if you're inhaling, if you're lifting up high, or maybe you're somewhere in between, one more breath to hold. And then on that exhale, slowly lower down, rolling kind of from the upper part of the back down to the seat. And then once that seat gets to the earth, you're just gonna slowly bring the knees in, slowly, no rush. We're gonna counter that bridge pose by giving ourselves a nice tucked hug. And then slowly lower the feet down again. And we're gonna come back into bridge. So again, the feet are about hip distance apart. I can just touch my feet. That's kind of how you want to gauge where the feet position should be. Kind of, gives you a little bit of an idea of where everything should be laying on the mat with the body and the shoulders. So let's walk those shoulder blades together a little bit. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale those hips up. On that inhale, that's when we push up. Those quads are kind of pushing us up. The hips are reaching up toward the sky. Again, you're listening to the body. Come down low if it doesn't feel right. You're also engaging the core here. We've got a lot going on. Rising up onto the shoulders. One more breath here. And exhale, lowering down. Nice and slow, rolling down there. Maybe you heel toe the feet together, bring those knees in for a nice hug here. Beautiful. And right from this hug, we're gonna move into our inversion. So if you have a block, or you have a bolster, or a blanket, and you wanna put that under your sacrum to come into your inversion, you can do that. You don't have to, you can just go ahead and send the feet up. Today I am gonna use the block. I'm sending my feet up. I'm just starting in the inversion with my feet flexed. And if you want, then you can start to point and flex the feet. Point and flex. Point and flex. Rotate the ankles in one direction and then the other. So the inversion is great. Your feet are very happy in inversion because usually we're walking on our feet or we're sitting on our feet. And now they finally get the opportunity to be where the head usually is, right? So what's that mean? The blood is kind of like coming down toward the hips. The feet are starting to feel a little bit lighter, and so are the legs. So the feet are very happy. If you want, you can scissor your legs a little bit here. As long as the feet are up, they're gonna get the benefit of this inversion. You can open and close. One foot back, one foot up, crisscross, or you can just stay in your inversion with your feet flexed, which is what I'm going to do. And we're going to start to prepare to come into one of our final poses for the class, which is Happy Baby. So we'll do that by removing whatever block or bolster you have or pillow underneath your hips. Lowering those knees down and grabbing the outside of the feet. So the heel is over the knee and you're kind of just guiding the knee down toward the earth. That's Happy Baby. You can come into any kind of modification of Happy Baby that you like. You can stretch one leg out, maybe come into a yogi toe lock or both legs. Whatever you feel you need as you're into your Happy Baby. Whatever makes you happy in your Happy Baby. You just come into Happy Baby. Moving from side to side. And then coming to stillness. Starting to guide the feet together. And allowing the feet to come down onto the mat. Extending one leg and then the other. Kind of getting your upper back and shoulders to melt into the mat. Coming into Shavasana, the final rest for this yoga class. Continuing to breathe in and out. Easy breaths in now and gentle breaths out. Just like we did throughout class with the body. Breathing in, taking in the energy, exhaling to release the tension in the body. Let's do the same thing with tension-filled thoughts. So if you're reclining now in your shavasana and you're thinking about what you have to do after the class, or what's going on around you, or something else that's kind of tension-filled, you can release those tensions by connecting to your breath. So let's take a nice full breath in here through the nose. Nice full breath. A slow, long exhale, just letting all those thoughts go. Just let it go for now. See if you can just imagine the breath, the thoughts floating away on the breath. This is a really good practice, really good breath work too to do before bed. If you're having trouble falling asleep, if you're the type of person, which I do a lot too, is I'm laying down in bed, that's when I start thinking about everything and have a little difficulty falling asleep. But then I remember, okay, let me just take that breath in and exhale and just let it all go. And once you kind of let it go, you're finding the body starts to release the tension in the body, and then you're able to maybe come into a rest. So it's good practice to connect to your breath for your body and also for your mind. So take a nice little rest here in your shavasana, and I'll bring you back in just a few breaths. Continuing to breathe, allowing the body to melt on the mat. Breathing in and out through the nose, gentle breaths, not holding your breath. Just slowly, very, very slowly, like we did in the beginning of class, start to move your head from side to side, pausing when you get to each side. So very gently awakening that cervical spine in a nice calm way. Nice gentle movements. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Moving it all around. And then we're going to come into a nice full body stretch. Whatever feels good for you. If you need to bring those hands way up over the head and the feet reaching in front of you, just a nice full body stretch. Maybe you're moving the right hand over your chest, that whole right arm, helping it along with that left hand. And maybe you're doing it on the other side. Whatever you feel the body needs to just kind of reawaken and stretch. Now start to bring those knees in toward your chest and rolling onto your right side. Using your right arm as a pillow, bringing the left hand to the earth in front of your heart, and bringing those knees in nice and close towards your chest. Garbhasana is Fetal Pose. Represents a fresh start and a new beginning. Such a nice way to kind of come to the end of a class, knowing that you did the work now. That kind of gives you that fresh start. You're stretched, you're warmed up, you're rested. And then whenever you're ready, just find your way into a comfortable seat anywhere on your mat. Using your hands to maybe gently guide you to that seat. And if you like, bringing your hands to heart center for balance. And I would just really like to thank you on behalf of the town of North Hempstead and myself for allowing me to guide you through this yoga class. It was an honor. I hope that you enjoyed it. In yoga, we say at the end of practice many times, Om Shanti, 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 Om. Om, the universal word. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace to you and to all of your families. Namaste.